saves.
So again, they pulled their goalie and they scored another goal.
Yeah, Leafs should just stop pulling their goalie. I've never seen a team let in empty netters at a rate the Leafs do. Never. It's automatic.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I am, of course, Andrew. Again, joined by Dad Mark Chetson. Welcome back to the show.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
24 karat magic.
Yeah.
That's all I know about that song.
Yeah.
What a difference a week makes. How so, he says? Because a week ago we were here saying, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Since then, hang on, I know what you're going to say. Since then, they've won 3 of 4. They beat Calgary on Monday. They beat the Avalanche on Wednesday in a game they did not deserve to win.
No.
Thank you, Joseph Woll.
Yeah.
They beat the Rangers on Thursday. And then they go into Nashville and lay a frickin' egg, blow a 2-0 lead, and
lose
don't
5-2.
get anything. When Florida had already lost, they
Yep.
could have moved into first in their division. But here we go again. Can't win the big games. What's going to be different this April?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We agree on that.
They lost 5-2.
Doesn't matter if they lost, and I think that's what Austin Matthews was saying. Who cares? We lost.
Yeah.
It's 5-2 or 3-2. We lost.
Yeah.
And you don't lose to the Nashville Predators when you're in the hunt for top seed in your division.
Yeah.
But this team has never won the big game.
A bad Nashville Predators.
Never won the big game, and still can't. So, what's going to change? You tell me down in the comments what's going to change.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's the answer. If anyone tries to tell you anything different, it's not true.
Nothing's going to change. So, Leaf fans, myself included, we're going to get 6 or 7 games in April,
Probably.
and then we're going to move on to our summertime activities a little earlier
Yeah.
than most other fans with playoff teams.
Yeah, it's usually only 7 games.
7 would be good,
Would be ideal.
but there'll only be 2 or 3 that are good for us,
Yeah.
4 that aren't good.
We're probably playing Tampa. It's going to be a whole thing.
Then they'll have a press conference. They'll talk about how they believe in the core. They're going to make some big changes.
Well, no, 2 of the 4 are up this year contract-wise. And we're going to talk about one today.
Doesn't mean they're not going to be re-signed. Anyway. So, what are we doing today? I don't even know what we're doing. Now when I ask that, I actually am finding out for the first time.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right. Like, I'm like the producer. Shouldn't the producer know
Probably.
what the show's about?
It makes it more realistic.
So what are we doing today, my son?
Well, we were reading a Toronto Sun article.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we get into that...
Who wrote the article? Steve Simmons?
Steve Simmons.
Oh, that'll be good then.
There's 2 pieces of news I got to get into. Contract news. The first one I just found out about this morning, actually.
Yeah, Matthew Nyes, 5 years?
Nope.
It was 5 years for...
Nope. This is not even hockey related. This is baseball related. The Toronto Blue Jays have agreed to a 5-year, $58 million contract.
58 million?
$58 million contract extension with Alejandro Kirk.
Oh, my suffering jeepers.
That's $11.6 million a year, and it's a $6 million signing bonus.
I guess I'm not a very good baseball observer. I am not seeing what Ross Atkins sees.
Yeah,
to pay $11 million to this guy who had 2 good months in his career, fluked into the All-Star game, and has been mediocre at best since.
Yeah, I didn't...
Can't throw out a runner, can't run the bases, and a 5-year extension. Thank you, Ross.
I didn't know about that this morning. When I woke up, I happened to check my phone. My buddy Sam had sent me that picture of him being extended, and it was Kirk's picture. So I looked it up, and sure enough, 5-year contract extension for Alejandro Kirk. So that's a lovely, lovely piece of work by Mr. Ross Atkins.
$11 million to
11.6.
a minor league catcher.
That's probably one of the dumbest things he's done. He's done a lot of dumb things.
I don't see what they see. And I don't know anybody that does, because anyone I talk to that's a Blue Jay fan, they all have kind of the same cross-eyed look at me when we talk about Kirk. I don't see what they see.
Makes no sense to me.
Anyway, good for him. Got him locked up for 5 years. Woohoo! And he also has...
He'll be traded when
is
the
it
GM
Heineman
comes
is
in.
the second, is the backup now?
Yep.
Yeah. And he said we're really set at the catching position.
He did see that. He did.
Heineman and Kirk, and we're really set at the
I saw a
catching
tweet
position.
yesterday. The Blue Jays informed Heineman and Davis Schneider that they're going to be on the opening day roster.
Just keeps getting better.
Like, honest to God, what is this team doing?
Just keeps getting better.
George Springer's hitting nothing.
Well, again, I don't care about spring training. Blue Jays have a wonderful record in spring training.
I know, but
I don't care about the numbers for players in spring training. The numbers matter starting Thursday. So get a few hits to start you off. You'll be hitting 500. And then no one will be talking about you. So I give him a chance. Spring training means nothing. I don't understand why it's so long either. But anyway, goody gumdrops. We're really set at the catching position for at least the next 5 years. Woohoo!
Well, that's until the new GM comes in and trades Kirk.
Well, Kirk. Alejandro Kirk. I don't believe it.
The second piece
I can't believe it.
Of news is
When you told me this morning, and I know I'm going to get yelled at for cutting you off. When you told me this
I've already
morning...
done it about 50 times. It's fine.
Like you just did to me? What you told me this morning was a 5-year extension. I thought it was going to be Matthew Nyes. And then when you said Alejandro Kirk, well, I slumped down in my chair and thought, what a start to the morning. What else could go wrong today? I don't even want to ask. I don't want to know the answer to that question.
Well, you kind of alluded to it earlier because the second piece of news is Matthew Nyes. No, it hasn't been done. But I just wanted to read this. Matthew Nyes has made it clear that he loves being a Maple Leaf and isn't considering leaving Toronto. He politely declined Sportsnet to discuss the status of extension talks publicly, but there's no doubt Tree Living is determined to keep him, having turned down trade interest from rival GMs at the deadline.
Why wouldn't you keep him?
He's the best one on the team.
And he's only
21, I think.
Second full year?
Yeah, he's
in the league. Come on, he's only going up.
I would absolutely
only going up.
Absolutely keep him.
Cool.
He'll get 5 years too, probably.
Think?
Right around there, I'd say. Yeah.
Don't overpay.
No.
But yes, whatever you can do to keep him, keep him.
I saw like a former AGM or like someone that was connected to the Panthers or something said something about how if he gets 8 years, it might go up to $9 million a year.
Yeah.
If he gets 8 years, but he's probably going to take a 5-year instead.
$9 million seems a bit high for Matthew Nyes.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Hey, we're paying double digits to 4 other people, so why not?
We're giving $11 million to Kirk.
There you go. Baseball's different though. No salary.
$11 million to Alejandro Kirk. Good for Kirk. He can buy lots of pizzas with that. Lots of pizzas.
Well, now let's get into the article.
Steve Simmons. I'm sure this is not going to be
This is part of his column
pleasant article
that was wrote last Sunday.
What's it about today?
The title of the article is...
That would be the headline.
The headline. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm always right.
Mitch Marner's actions do not match his words on staying a Leaf.
Oh, okay.
That's the headline of this article.
Remember when I asked what else could go wrong today?
This is it.
You just answered my question. We're going to spend time talking about Mitch Marner again. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in for it.
I'll read this.
I'll just sit back and enjoy my coffee and
jump in when I'm...
I'll put myself on mute so I don't cut you off.
No, you don't. No. So... Mitch Marner took the night to sleep on it. For all he talks about wanting to be a Maple Leaf for life, his only team, his only town, when he was asked about waiving the no-trade arrangement in his contract, he didn't answer immediately. That's the start of the article.
Yeah. So did that lead us to believe he would think about waiving?
Probably.
Okay.
The next day, he declined the invitation to be dealt at the deadline, ostensibly for Mikko Rantanen. Although he didn't know that, and Marner did so with a business-like calmness. He again stated both privately and publicly that Toronto was his place and the Leafs were his team. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't stop after every paragraph.
If I have something to say, I'm going to just cut you off. Keep going.
He reiterated that position, which is oddly in direct contradiction to his actions of his agent, Darren Ferris. If Marner wanted to stay with the Leafs, why isn't he open to negotiating with them? The notion he won't negotiate while the season is going on is pretty much modern-day drivel. Players don't tend to be involved much in contract negotiations until they get close to the deal being signed or walked away from. The agent does the work. The player provides his parameters to the agent, or in many cases, the agent provides those figures to the player prior to the commencement of any negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
In his words, Marner wants to stay with the Leafs. With his actions, though, the opposite could be interpreted. And because of that, the Leafs thought they had no choice but to investigate Rantanen's availability when that possibility was presented to them.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the most boring thing if you don't jump in the next...
I'm not disagreeing at this point. I want to know what his actions are that are...
This wasn't the whole article, by the way. This is part of it. This is the first part of his column.
Okay.
Rantanen, if signed, was sure a long-term thing with the Leafs. Marner, unsigned, remains a question. Now the Leafs don't know exactly what Marner is thinking or who he is listening to, and neither side knows precisely how the other side will act at season's end. It's a game of hockey chicken with only one sure thing: Marner being paid well no matter how this ends up.
If I'm Mitch Marner, sign an extension now if you're offered one with the Leafs, because you're going into the playoffs, and if you lay an egg like you have every single playoffs of your career, who's signing you?
That's true.
Huh?
Yeah.
They're going to look at him and say, gets me 100 points every regular season, but disappears in the playoffs. What's that worth? Now, having said that, someone will sign him.
Well, as stupid as it sounds, players aren't usually paid for playoff performance. They're paid for regular season performance, usually.
I don't know. There's some GMs would say, I'm not paying 15, 14 million to that guy when come April, he doesn't play.
Yeah, he's going to want 13 too, so that's going to be...
Same can be said for Austin Matthews, for that matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe he's just the best negotiator out there,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Does he want to stay or not?
I don't think so.
Ask me if I want him to stay.
I know what you think.
Okay.
I know what you want. Do you want him to stay?
Not in no. Never. Rantanen for Marner would have been an upgrade, but that ain't happening.
Which is funny because I saw something the other day that said that Marner, or the Hurricanes are going to be interested in Marner if he hits the market.
I'd also like to see what free agents are going to be available July 1st, because
Yeah.
you don't sign Marner, boy, you got a lot of cap space, right?
Well, I want him to re-sign Tavares.
Yeah, but not for his current.
No.
Oh, Tavares, 100%.
I'd re-sign him for his current way he's playing.
He still has a number of good years in him. Still a way better than average player,
Yep.
and seems to be the only one scoring goals right now.
Also, this is kind of a smaller one, and it's no one's really talked about it. I do kind of want Steven Lorenz to come back
Yeah, you keep Lorenz.
for a year or two.
Is he on expiring?
Yeah. He only got a 1-year deal.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They need more stability in lines 3 and 4, because every year it's
Yeah.
been, let's go out and plug holes, and nobody seems to know what their role is.
The problem they're going to have is if Marner goes, then that's a right wing hole on the first or second line, because you could move Nylander up a line, but then that puts one on the second line.
I think the problem they're going to have is the playoffs are coming.
It's true.
And that, over the years, has been a problem.
And especially if we play Tampa, geez.
And if we rely on our goaltenders and they come through for us, maybe. But,
Well, I don't know if we can. Joseph Volk gave up 5 goals last night, so.
well, no, he gave up 4
Oh, empty netter.
and an empty netter. And he made a couple of great saves.
So again, they pulled their goal and they scored another goal.
Yeah, Leafs should just stop pulling their goalie. I've never seen a team let in empty netters at a rate the Leafs do. Never. It's automatic.
Yeah, like the Leafs should not. The Leafs have a horrible penalty kill too.
They're not good on the penalty kill lately, but I think I saw last night their power play is up to 6th
Jeez.
in the league. I don't know if I read that right. Maybe I was half asleep.
I figured
But they are scoring a ton of power play goals now.
when they were up 2-0 after the first, this is going to be a nice win. And then I saw 3-2 after the second.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
like,
what the problem
Lovely.
was? They thought that too. And they stopped playing. Right?
Yeah.
And they let Michael Bunting score. Michael Bunting scores every time he plays the Leafs.
Jeez.
Every time.
Michael
I don't know.
Bunting.
It was not impressive.
I forgot Luke Shen is no longer a Predator because I was.
That's right.
Whenever I think of the Predator, I think of him, but I don't know. He's in Winnipeg, isn't he?
The one hand, like I said, they've won 3 of 4 this week. You can't complain about 3 or 4.
Yeah, but you lost to the worst of
But
the
when you
teams.
give away 2 points like last night, especially when you had a 2-0 lead against Nashville, and Florida had lost, you can't. Why can they not win the big game?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
If we could answer that question, we might be not so jaded.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I don't think people are blaming Berube as much anymore as what they were like a week ago. But
Berube's working with what he has,
exactly.
and it's the same old stuff we've always had. So
Another guy going. By the way, I think Nick Robertson.
going.
I think he's going, and I also because he's only on a 1-year deal. Anyway.
Well, you see some flash of really good stuff, and then you see some flash of what the heck is he thinking? So he's still got a lot of growing to do.
Isn't Luke Shen in Winnipeg now? Because he got traded away from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Did he go to Winnipeg?
I think he went to Winnipeg.
Probably.
I'm not totally sure.
Probably.
But he Dubas traded for him, and then he flipped him. So
Are you done the article?
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
So we don't think Mitch is staying,
No, we don't.
according to that article.
We don't think so.
He's saying what he's saying and what he's doing don't jive.
No.
Which is true, because if a guy keeps coming
Well,
out
what
publicly
he's saying and what his
keeps
agent
saying,
is saying is different.
but every time he's asked, I want to stay here, I love it here, blah, 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 blah. And then on the other hand, I'm not negotiating. Well, if you really wanted to stay here, you'd sew that up
You would.
and you'd have it done.
Like, an example would be back in 2015 when Connor McDavid was young in the league. He said to the Oilers, listen, I just want to get this done. I don't want this to be a distraction. They got it done, and then that was it.
I don't think there's really anything on Mitch's mind other than the money. And he wants to go where he's going to make the most, and that's what's most important to him. I wouldn't doubt he thinks he deserves to be the highest player in the league,
Yeah.
which he doesn't, especially given his playoff performance.
Well, he might get it by some team.
Well, someone will overpay. It's like the Vladdy situation. Someone's going to give him $600 million.
Well, hey, the Blue Jays just overpaid for Kirk, so maybe they'll overpay for Vladdy.
Well, they got a bit of money to play with now. They apparently had $500 million they were going to spend on Vladdy, so now they got $500 million to spend.
I don't know what that contract is for Kirk. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I was kind of surprised to hear that this morning, but 5 years.
And it was out of nowhere, too. It was just like, oh, Kirk and the Blue Jays extension. Oh.
But we're really set at the catching position with Kirk and Heineman. That is a quote of Ross Atkins.
That is actually a direct quote of
I
Ross
believe
Atkins.
he said we're in good shape.
He said something like that, yeah.
We're in good shape. I could make a joke, but I won't. Because usually in good
Yeah.
shape and Kirk aren't said in the same sentence. Someone said he had lost a lot of weight, but I was watching it. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing him being in better shape.
I don't know if we should joke about being in better shape.
I'm allowed to. That's why you can. Right? People in stone houses shouldn't throw glass.
There you go. Don't throw stones in this glass house. But plus the $6 million signing bonus.
What?
$6 million signing bonus. You
On
didn't
top
hear-
of it.
You didn't hear that. I said $6 million signing bonus.
I must have been too busy interrupting you. This is just not a good day today. Not a good day.
I don't get it, man. That's got to be the worst. Like, that's up there with one of his worst moves, man. I don't know.
Well, it all starts Thursday.
Baltimore?
Baltimore for 4 games.
That's 0-4 after 4 games.
Yeah, I doubt it. They'll sneak a few in. They've won a ton of preseason.
Who cares?
I know, but they have. Maybe they'll carry that through. Who knows?
But doesn't history show when you have a good spring training, you have a horrible season?
I don't know if you can say that definitively,
No.
but what I've always said, because people keep telling me the Blue Jays won and so-and-so's hitting this and so, who cares?
I haven't been telling you that.
It doesn't matter
I don't care
what
about
they
the
do in the spring.
I don't care about the Blue Jays.
It has zero impact on anything. Let's see what happens starting Thursday.
But I want to know.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue with my campaign to get rid of Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro,
I have no optimism with this team.
renovator extraordinaire.
I don't have any optimism with this team.
You generally don't have a lot of optimism.
It's true.
You got to be more positive like me.
You're not positive either.
I'm totally positive when there's a reason to be positive.
I have no positivity about this team.
Well, they might surprise you. Make the playoffs? No. God, no, they're not going to make the playoffs. Finish 500?
No, I don't think so.
Doubt it, but who knows? Maybe they'll...
Imagine if they could do like a Detroit story. That'd be crazy if they could do that.
Based on the history, I'm not seeing it.
Neither am I.
Big moments, right?
Yeah.
They don't step up to big moments. Must be a Toronto curse.
Well, the Raptors stepped up.
They're the only ones recently.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
1993, the Blue Jays won the World Series.
I'm going to go back to 1967 when the Leafs.
They've been back to the playoffs a couple of times since, and I don't think they've won a game.
They haven't won a playoff game in the entire Atkins and Shapiro era.
No. They won a couple of games when Donaldson and then made the playoffs.
2016.
And they won a couple of series.
Which, okay, technically they did win a few games in 2016, which is when Shapiro and Atkins were there, but you can't count that team because that wasn't their team.
No.
That wasn't their built team.
No.
That was where they were left.
Anyway, this is kind of sad.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Mitch Marner says he wants to stay. He's probably going. I'd be happy to see him going.
Me too.
Just wish he would have gone. Because Rantanen would have been better for the playoffs.
Yeah. Although Ranton seems like a greedy guy. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
but he's been there, done that, won a cup.
Yeah.
Shows up.
That would have been $12 million would have paid Ranton.
We don't have anyone that shows up in the playoffs.
It's true, yeah.
Maybe Nick Robertson.
No.
What? Maybe Nick Robertson will be the guy in the playoffs.
Maybe Willie
Maybe
Nylander.
Max Domi.
Maybe Nylander. Maybe Nyes.
Domi had a good playoffs a couple of years ago with, was it Dallas or who else?
Dallas.
was
Yeah, it was Dallas. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it then. What else you got?
How's the Leafs defense?
How's the Leafs defense?
Yeah.
In what way?
Like, is it playing well or is it?
They're giving up a lot of shots,
Yeah.
but the shots they're giving up generally aren't in tight and high danger shots. So who knows?
Maybe Max Pacioretty's the guy in the playoffs.
To me, it doesn't come down to defense because the Leafs defense last year in the playoffs, they didn't allow hardly any goals.
No.
Most games were 1-goal or 2-goal games. They just couldn't score
Yeah, there you go.
because certain people won't, to quote Dangle, go to the net.
There you go.
They
Yeah.
won't go to the net in the hard places in the playoffs. I don't know why.
Except for Matthew Nyes.
We'll see what Nyes is made of.
Yeah.
Another year under his belt. Someone has to lead this team
Yeah.
and go out and be fearless. I don't know that the captain is that kind of guy.
He's not at all.
I don't think he's that kind of guy.
I don't know why I gave him the C in the first place.
Fearless. When the playoffs start, fearless. But they play with fear. And that's why they can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play for Berube, be fearless. These guys aren't meant to play for Berube.
They're not.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But history says I won't be.
It's true.
Anyway, that's all I got today.
Me too.
What do you got over there?
Nothing.
Nothing more?
Nope.
Well, I'll get the Bruno Mars going.
All right. So thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. We'll be back next week with the next episode.
Can hardly wait.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.
What y'all trying to